It's chaos on campus once again. Leftists crashing conservative speaker Ian Haworth's How Men Can Fight for Life event at the University of New Mexico. Police intervening when they began rocking barricades. Joining us now with his reaction is conservative speaker Ian Haworth. Ian, describe what happened.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. It was honestly just such a wild evening. I flew into Albuquerque like any other day. I do these college speeches all the time. I had to arrive at the event 2 hours early because a protest has already formed. Students were telling each other to rally outside to protest against fascism, and apparently the way to protest against fascism is by shutting down free speech on campus. What was really funny about this as well is if they actually bothered to listen to my speech, as some people on the left did. I had some people come, we had a great discussion during the speech. I actually talked about how men are responsible for the epidemic of abortion we're seeing in our country, and I think a lot of them, as radical feminists, might have enjoyed it. And so it was absolutely just absurd event. Horrible to see attempted acts of violence, and I'm deeply thankful to all of the law enforcement who were there, who prevented a repeat of what happened when Tomi Lahren visited the University of New Mexico just a month ago.
What did they fear you were going to say that was going to hurt their fragile ears?
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, just some of the things they were saying outside, that I wanted to murder women, that I hated women, that I wanted to murder minorities. And the worst thing they could find online was a joke I made about Lizzo. I mean, there's just no connection between reality and the things they were saying. But a lot of it is just stoking fear. They were stoking fear about me, about Turning Point USA, and just about the conservative movement in general. I don't think it had anything to do with reality.
You alluded to this in your first answer, but why is the left's answer to free speech to always shut down free speech when they hear something that they don't like?
I think it's a cheat code that society have used for hundreds of years. I mean, the left do not like ideas because, frankly, our ideas are better than their ideas. And so it's very easy just to threaten people into silence. I mean, you had a lot of people who were harassed going into the event and coming out. I said this during the speech, it was relatively easy for me. I came in early. I was under constant armed protection. I was whisked away out of the back door in a police car. But there are lots of students and other faculty members, for example, who live on campus, who have to work on campus. It's where their life is. They have to exist in these places. And I think that's where the threat lies. It's not really for people like me speaking. It's for people who are standing up and even daring to listen to ideas. And the threat of violence is just a very easy tool that they can whip out and use to force people into silence. It's horrible to watch, but I'm proud of groups like Turning Point USA just for standing up and saying, no, we're not going to stand for this nonsense. We're going to have these events and we're going to keep having them.
Ian, I'm sure some of those folks were outside agitators, but a lot of them were actual students, allegedly trying to get an education there. Why spend all that money to go through the motions of being a student, going to college, if that's how you're going to act and you're not open to learning new points of view, which is literally the reason you're supposed to go to college in the first place?
Well, I think a big part of it is that people don't go to college for the right reason anymore. People don't go to develop skills to apply in their society afterwards. A lot of it is just an indoctrination mill where you can go, you can scream at the sky about your chosen issue of choice. You can scream at radical fascists like I apparently am. And then you can come out with a useless degree and then complain as to why you're not employable. It's just this perpetual cycle that the left have created of very angry, very politically useful students who don't have any useful skills that they can apply in later life. And it's again awful to watch, to go to these colleges, to see a lot of students who are interested in hearing new ideas. Again, students that don't really listen or agree with me. But it's just the fact that people don't go to college for the right reason anymore.
Ian Haworth, thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Still